Okay, so Chekhov's gun, right? Chekhov's gun is a foreshadowing technique, right, that's used by writers all over the world countless times from, eons ago. And there's nothing wrong with using it. Actually, you should use it. You should at least know what it is, and you should know how to use it. But Chekhov's gun is when a writer uses a gun or some type of object or a symbol within the story. Usually it's done within the very first act, but it doesn't have to be done in the very first act. Now, Chekhov's gun theory usually shows back up in the third act, usually during the climax, when everything is really at stake. It's typically known for saving the day or killing the monster, rescuing the princess, or answering the big question. To make it different, I would say to introduce the gun or the symbol or object or whatever it is, right? And, claim that it will save the day, right? So this object right here, if you use it against the bad guy, which they'll try to do at the end, supposedly it will save the day. Okay, so when the hero goes to use the object, Chekhov's gun, they find out that it's actually useless, right? So they find out when they're ready to use it, it's like, this thing, we thought it was so special and it's not special at all. It's not going to help us, right? So that's one way, and that's good actually, because it forces the hero, it forces your main protagonist, right, to think on his feet, right? It will reveal the intelligence of the hero, and you can really get to know the character better because they have to save the day on their own. They can't rely on Chekhov's gun to save the day. Another way is to introduce Chekhov's gun as something useless at the beginning, right? So the very first time let's say that you talk about some object or whatever, you can reference it as being useless, or just, something that's totally worthless to the story and worthless to the characters, right? And then at the end, or whenever you decide to reintroduce the object, you can reintroduce it, right, as something that was powerful, that was important all along. Now what that does is that kind of throws the audience off balance, right? It kind of like surprises the reader or the viewer, because they were told that this thing is worthless, okay, that's not important at all, and then they find out that it was important all along, right? So this thing actually is significant in the whole story. Well, there you go. There's a couple of different ways to use Chekhov's gun. And if you're interested in checking out any more creative writing topics, you can check out right here and right here.